Super Mario 3D All-Stars just launched, and I couldn't be more happy that it's out. For the longest time, I felt as if not every Mario fan had access to some of the titles included. But now every Switch player has the opportunity to try out the games they may have missed from the past. And in today's quick video, we're going to cover 3 weird discoveries in these games that not every player may know about. I've covered all these games pretty extensively, so if you enjoy this video, consider subscribing right now because I have tons of videos like it on my channel. That way you'll get notified upon new releases, and you can always unsubscribe later if you lose interest. But without further ado, let's hop into the weird stuff. First up, we have Super Mario Sunshine. Now, if you owned any of these Mario titles in the past, it's important to note that sometimes cutscenes were rendered out as standard definition video files to include in the game. They need to be small in file size so that they didn't take up too much space on the disc. But because of that, the quality took a massive dip. The benefit with Super Mario 3D All-Stars is that we now have these video files in a much higher quality. They aren't as muddy looking as the previous versions. And this concept is what sets the stage for the first weird thing I want to talk about. So at the beginning of the game, we find Mario and Peach jetbound towards Isle Delfino. But I want you to pay close attention to Peach's outfit, because something really strange happens to it as the story progresses. She has these giant blue earrings, but after we land, there's one odd shot in particular that takes place where this isn't the case. When Toadsworth is telling the Toads to not touch the goop on the ground, for some reason, Peach's earrings become a pair of eyeballs. The texture the game designers used for her eyes is accidentally applied to her earrings, and because the earrings sway around and jiggle, so do these disgusting pierced eyeballs. This only lasts for one shot, and most players wouldn't even notice this because it takes place in the background of the scene. Most people would be looking at Mario. Once you see it, you'll never unsee it though, and Peach's eyeball earrings will forever haunt you for the rest of your life. Next up, we're firing up Super Mario Galaxy. This title starts off pretty pleasant, until the Fire Nation invades the Star Festival. Princess Peach gets kidnapped by a giant UFO, and Mario is blasted to oblivion. But once Mario recovers, we find ourselves within Gateway Galaxy. Normally, at this point, the player advances through the stage until they run into Rosalina, but before they get near her, a cutscene plays which grants them the spin ability. After this, Rosalina is gone. But let's rewind for a second here. The thing is, Rosalina is encompassed in a giant cutscene trigger, so the player can never actually get near her. As soon as they try to, the game loads in the cutscene. But if this cutscene were removed, it would be possible to actually talk to Rosalina on this map. But she only has one short message to say, and it's a single Japanese character with question marks. This roughly translates to the phrase "in front," so perhaps this was placeholder text to reference that the player would be in front of her? Either way, it's kinda neat that this message is tucked away inside an inaccessible cutscene area. Last but not least, we're heading over to the classic Super Mario 64. Now, if you're new to this channel, you may have missed my previous videos talking about these strange 1-ups located in the game. And this time, we're tackling another one. I will say that this one isn't very secret because a lot of players have found it before. But what's interesting is that they probably don't know all the steps that they took to actually make it appear. So we start Super Mario 64, head into Bob-omb Battlefield, and secure our first star. And with this star, we now have access to Peach's secret slide. At the bottom of this massive slide area is a box that has a star inside of it. But just behind this star, players have spawned a 1-up before. But the kicker is that this won't appear for every single player that visits this back area. But why is that? Well, Super Mario 64 essentially has a series of switches it uses to determine when a 1-up should spawn. Sometimes it is 2 points on a tree, or in other situations, it's multiple points in a circle. But these 1-up triggers can essentially be placed anywhere, and that's what is happening on this secret slide. Only one of the extra life triggers is at the very end of the slide, whereas all the other remaining triggers take place on the slide itself. They're actually centered around the hilly section on the slide, so that if you manage to collect the coins there, you also enable all 3 switches, hidden in those coin clusters. If you jump at this part, or if you try to skip the slide with a shortcut, you'll find yourself unable to collect the 1-up at the end, and these hidden switches are to blame. And with that, those are 3 simple weird discoveries. You can find the start of each game in Super Mario 3D All-Stars. I have lots of other neat videos on these games, so subscribe now if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you all soon. Cheers.